Hello, this is BrickTsar. We're going to look at another vintage Lego set, and one of my favorite themes as a kid was the classic castle theme that began in 1984, and here's one of the sets that first came out in 84. It's set 6040. It is the Blacksmith Shop. Came with 2 minifigures, had about 83 pieces, and it makes this Blacksmith Shop. And so I was just seeing if it had the piece count on the box. But anyway, we're going to look at this and tell you what I think about it. Now I got this box. It's in pitiful shape, but this kind of gives you an idea of what the Lego boxes looked like back then. They were pretty much mostly all yellow. This one did have a hook on it where it could be on a display rack, but this guy's pretty bad shape. But it's the Legoland on the side, and then it shows the alternate model. And I'll show you the instructions real quick. And we're not going to build the alternate model, but here's the front of the instructions. It's 1984. It's a fold-out sheet. And what's interesting is it shows the alternate model. Now this is what I'm going to show you here. Now there's the last steps of the main model, but it shows you how to build this other little castle design. And I thought that was pretty neat. So they spent, it's like a 2-in-1 is what they did. So occasionally they'll give you complete instructions on how to build alternate models, and other times they just give you pictures. And 1984 was the first year we were introduced to this guy, the Minifigure Horse. His head moves, but his legs do not. His head moves up and down, and they design it where you got these 1x2 brick and plate that fit perfectly in here. And what that's for is when you use the harness here, you put the harness in, you put it in like that, and it's a 1x1 plate essentially. And then you take just the brick part of the have the 1x2, and then it looks like he's got a harness on, or you could use a red brick, however you want to do it. But that's why they give you with all the horses, you always get an extra 1x2 plate and 1x2 brick to put in there like that. And here's our main character from our blacksmith shop. It's our blacksmith. He just has a plain yellow torso. That's his shirt or undershirt and black pants. And if you saw one of my recent hauls from BrickLink, I was needing this cape. That's one of the few sets that has this in old brown. So I've been waiting for that. Several sellers had it for BrickLink, but a seller, she had it listed for $4, I think it was, and I bought that and a few other items. But all the figures from this 1984 sets, they all had just the standard grin pattern, and he's got this little hood that goes over him. That's a pretty neat element too. And he's got his hammer for working in the blacksmith shop. Alright, and here's the knight you get with this set. He's got the axe pattern, so it's appropriate that he carries an axe. And I have a problem finding these with all the gold. It's kind of similar to the early spacemen. The gold on the shield pattern here would be kind of worn off, and I had another haul where it's where I actually got this bad condition box. It had a few pieces from the set. Now I already had the set complete except for the brown cape on the blacksmith, but I got a better torso in that other lot, so I replaced it and got this better conditioned torso. And again, solid stud head on these old minifigures, standard minifigure pattern. Alright, and here's the blacksmith shop. And it's neat that this set features the interior of the castle on the cover and on the instructions instead of the exterior. A lot of the castle sets, on the cover you'll see the outside, because they usually don't have a lot of details on the inside, but this one does. It has the furnace the blacksmith uses. It's got a wheel. I guess that's to blow air into the furnace. I'm not sure. Got some hooks there to hold his pitchfork. And then he's got his little table area over here where he's working on this wagon wheel. And all the castle sets from 84, or most all of them, were designed where you could combine them with other ones so that they'll all be at the same height and they all have the little Technic pins where you can connect them. And so we'll show you the other side, and it looks like just about all the other castle sets. So you could hook this up to the Black Falcon's fortress. Even though he's not a Black Falcon, you could hook it up to the King's Castle, and just any of the castle sets. They had Siege Tower and many other sets, and you could just make a really big castle by combining them all, and they would all be at the same level for their little watchtowers here. And this one does have a castle piece that has the stone pattern on it, and a couple of the plain ones. So you had this stone window pattern, and you had another stone pattern, and then you had your plain windows. But that was pretty neat, and I really do. It's one of the things I loved about the early castle sets, is being able to combine them, and we like to do that with ours that we had. And this is the extra parts. You had the wheel holder, the turntable on a hinge, and the harness there. And it wasn't really, it's interesting that it's just kind of sitting on the side, right there on the instructions, just sitting over there to the side. It's not really built into any of the main model. It's just an extra part. And so I thought that was interesting that it didn't even, it didn't have the wagon sitting to the side with one wheel missing or something like that. It's just kind of extra, and use it really for the alternate model. But that's why that's sitting over there to the side like that, not really serving any purpose. So anyway, that's the Blacksmith Shop. It's from 1984, set 6040. It's one of these classic castle sets that I really love, and I love the early castle theme. I like it even better than the new ones, even though the new ones have a lot more details, more printing on the minifigures. I just love the classic castle. So anyway, tell me what you think in the comments, and please like and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I appreciate everyone that is, and check back later. We'll have more vintage Lego reviews and new reviews and Lego hauls. Thanks for watching BrickTsar.